Welcome to the Money Channel. This is ODOOM'S Forum, and if you are joining us for the very first time, kindly give us a thumbs up by subscribing to the channel and click on the bell notification button so that anytime we drop a new video, you will be notified. So, on this channel, all that we do is to talk about money, talk about financial literacy, and give you some best advice on how you can best manage your finances. So, if you are interested in money matters, or if you are somebody who uses money, let me just put it that way, this is a channel for you. And today is the episode 3 of the money class. We are moving on to another dimension, and today I'm going to give you some must read books for financial literacy. And this is a book that, trust me, if you end up reading one of them, just one of them, you're going to develop a new perspective about your personal finances, and you're going to move from one level to another in managing your money. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you some 7 books at random, books that are very popular. I mean, they are tested and proven financial literacy books by experienced men and women. Yeah, so you have to stay tuned to the end of this video and you will thank me later. So let's get started. Now, we already know, before I start going through the list, we already know there is a lot of financial literacy books. Yeah, a lot, numerous of them. I mean, yeah, but in this video, I'm limiting you to just 7 that I have an encounter with it. So, and you are going to really enjoy it. So, let's get started. Now, the first book I'll recommend to you is the book titled Good Money Habits in Bad Economic Times. So this is a book by Dr. Richmond Kwame Frimpong. He is a financial literacy advocate and an international trade expert, and this is a book recommended for almost everyone in this contemporary economic era. Why? Because in this book you are going to learn the principles or the kind of habits you need to develop or build to be able to survive in this contemporary economic era. We all know what's currently happening. Of course, we know inflation is at the highest level. We know interest rates, lending rates are at the highest level. Virtually almost every investment is not yielding real returns. I mean, return adjusted for inflation. So in this book, you're going to learn how you can still be able to navigate through all these things that are happening and still have your finances on track. And it's available on all online platforms. You can check it on Amazon. If you are in Africa, it's easy to get, and it's even on some bookstores online. So just Google the name Good Money Habits in Bad Economic Times. So in a contemporary economic time, you don't need more money. What you need is good money habit. Okay, because with good money habit, even with your small income, you can still be able to manage your finances. Now, the second book I would like to talk about is Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Now, this is one of the best-selling financial literacy books ever, and I know for most of you who have been on this channel for quite a while, you have heard of this book before because it's very popular, and we know Robert Kiyosaki and his principles on wealth creation and personal finance. And this book virtually contrasts the financial philosophies of 2 figures, which is one being the rich dad and one being the poor dad, and it uses these 2 figures to teach us lessons about money and investing. And you must read this book because it actually offers some valuable insight on financial literacy, and it gives you some basic understanding of assets and liabilities and help you understand how money flows into and out, I mean, of your account. Okay, so this is one of the books I also recommend to you, Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Now, with all these books that I'm recommending to you these days, I don't expect that you make time to read, or if you read all, that's best, but at least as far as your personal finances are concerned, try and then read one of these books. And one of the books that you can start with is Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Now, the next book I'm recommending to you is The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham. Now, The Intelligent Investor is basically a guide to a guide to almost everyone who uses money on how to invest. Now, Warren Buffett, we know the greatest investor of all time, has even recommended that The Intelligent Investor is so far the best book that he has ever read. So you can actually testify that it's not just a mere book, it's a book that change your perspective, gives you some tips and guidelines on how to go about your investing. One of the ways to build wealth is by investing. And so if you are interested in investing as far as your wealth creation journey is concerned, you need to read The Intelligent Investor. Now that I'm going on to the third book and the fourth book actually, and the fourth book is George Clason's The Richest Man in Babylon. The Richest Man in Babylon. So this book, I'm sure you have actually heard of it before because it's equally popular, just like Rich Dad Poor Dad and The Intelligent Investor. And this book is basically like a collection of parables in the ancient Babylon, and he kind of relates it to how it impacts timeless financial wisdom, saving, investing, and wealth creation. And so it compares the ancient Babylon instances and then help you develop some wisdom on wealth creation. So that is why you must read this book, The Richest Man in Babylon. You see, as you can see, the success secret of the ancient and the most inspiring book on wealth ever written. So that is what the book has been adjudged to be. So you need to get yours very soon. Now, the next book I'll talk about is Think and Grow Rich. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Now, with this book, it talks about mindset and or your perspective and wealth creation, and it tries to think a link between positive thinking and wealth creation. Mindset is very much needed when it comes to wealth creation. You need to have a particular kind of mindset or a certain kind of mindset if you want to begin a journey of building sustainable wealth. And this book actually get you on track with that, and that is why you must go after it. Okay, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Now, like I said, it provides a mindset shift, okay, and practical techniques for you to achieve your personal and your financial goals. So like I said, you need a particular kind of mindset, and that is what this book gives you. So check it out, Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. And the next book I'll talk about is Stop Acting Rich and Start Living Like a Real Billionaire. There are a lot of people who want to look rich, and then you see we have something we call looking rich and being rich. Looking rich doesn't mean you are necessarily rich, okay, but being rich is the real deal. Okay, so this book is saying stop acting rich, okay, stop looking rich, and rather focus on becoming a real millionaire or a real billionaire. Okay, so there are a lot of people who like to look rich. Looking rich is, for instance, let's assume a university student, an undergrad student who is virtually not working. If the person, if tomorrow you see let's say tomorrow you see the person in a very expensive car, he looks rich, but that college student does not or is not actually rich. Okay, so looking rich is basically, mostly when people see you, they see you as rich, but your bank account doesn't reflect what you portray. So that is looking rich. And then being rich is being the rich itself. Do you get it? So Thomas Stanley is telling you that stop looking rich and start living like a real millionaire. Okay, so in a millionaire lifestyle. And last but not least book that I'll talk about is The Millionaire Next Door by Thomas Stanley again and William Danko. The Millionaire Next Door. The Millionaire Next Door. So now with this book, it actually investigates some habits and lifestyle of everyday millionaires in the USA. So kind of it has taken time, Thomas Stanley is a PhD holder. In fact, all the authors of this book are PhD holders. So it's a research or an investigation into the lifestyle of some millionaires and billionaires in the United States. And it is, you have definitely have lessons from how the rich live. To get it, if you check the book, the second to last book I talk about, which is the Stop Acting Rich and Start Living Like a Millionaire. See, it talks about having a millionaire lifestyle or living a billionaire lifestyle, and this book explores into the kind of lifestyle millionaires actually live. And as someone who is on the journey to building wealth, it is important that you learn from such people, or you read such books actually. So these are the 7 books I have recommended to you. The first one is Good Money Habits in Bad Economic Times by Dr. Richmond Kwame Frimpong. The second one is Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. And the third one is The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham. The fourth one is The Richest Man in Babylon by George Clason. And the fifth one is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And the sixth is Stop Acting Rich and Start Living Like a Millionaire. And the last but not least, which is The Millionaire Next Door. And I'm sure you would enjoy it. So get yourself a copy. It doesn't cost much on the market. If you're in Ghana and you want me to get you a copy too, I can do that for you. If you're in Greater Accra, actually, I can get you a copy, or I can recommend some bookshops to you, and you can get these books from there. So if you have already read some of these books, just leave comment in the comment section. The things that you learned from this, just 3 things that you learned from if you have the book that you have read, okay, or any other personal finance books that you have read aside this. Just share it in the comment section, and other people would need it to build their success life. So till we meet again, this is 30-minute video, and I'm gonna end here. So till we meet in episode 4 of the money class, this is goodbye to you.